How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So I was on a small vacation. One of my best friends got married in New Jersey, so we did that whole thing, and then me and the family popped over to New York, did some sightseeing, a little bit of shopping, and a few other touristy things. I'm officially back, and of course I did some toy hunting, popped over to Target, and I found some new Micro Galaxy Squadron. We have the Gungan Bongo Submarine and the Naboo Starfighter. Excited about these because it is the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. So let's crack them open and go over all the details. Alright, we're going to go over both ships in this video. Like the stickers say, they can only be found at Target stores. So my international friends, I'm not quite sure where y'all can get this. So if anybody knows, comment down below and let's help each other out. These don't seem to be really a part of Series 6, but rather their own subset collection. So it says Episode 1, which makes sense. I mean, this is the 25th year. That's actually pretty cool that they would create an own collection based around the 25th year of the Phantom Menace. Here's a better look at that sticker. You can see we have Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that's actually a pretty nice touch, especially if you wanted to buy an extra one of these for your sealed collection. It would display so nice. Back of the packaging doesn't really show us any glimpses of other ships from the Phantom Menace. You know, we do have that Boot Eve pack, which was a Walmart exclusive. Other than that, I mean, all it has in the back of the packaging is just the ship itself. Bongo Submarine was $19.99 and the Naboo Starfighter was $14.99. Both are great prices, especially for the Bongo Submarine. The packaging to this N1 is pretty traditional with what we've already seen within this MGS line. Big differences is going to be that beautiful 25th anniversary sticker there. We have an only at Target sticker, but on the side we have a little area here that says Episode 1 Collection. And of course our two figures are young Anakin Skywalker and R2-D2. Here's the barcode and the Target DPCI to help you track this down in store. Right now, as I'm filming this, they are currently in stock. You can either pick them up in store or have them shipped to your house. Let's kick this off with the Naboo Starfighter. So length from tip to tip, I would say we are just under 8 inches. The color looks great to this. Nice, beautiful yellow representation. We have some logoing at the sides of the cockpit and then also where the astromech sits. Some more of that can be found at the sides of the engines, and then at the back of the engines, you can see they're kind of lit up a little bit to give the appearance that it is flying through the air. We have some carbon buildup behind the engines as well as the turrets. Now the metallic area in the front is more of a flat matte type of look and not so much a glossy chrome appearance, which would have been the truest representation of this. Personally, I would have liked to have seen that, especially if they're going to do that with the Royal Naboo Starship, but I am curious about the durability for that type of finish. Maybe it's a little susceptible to like paint chipping, warping, but who knows? If they're able to do it and it looks good, then I would love to see that happen. At the right engine, there is a cover. We can pop this off and it exposes the engine turbine and like all the little components and stuff like that. That's a pretty cool feature. It's not something we necessarily see within the film, except when one of these is maybe being shot down. On the underside, we have more of that metallic finish. There's even a sculpted area here for that larger blaster. The landing gear folds flush to the ship. There is some little tabs that help you pop these open. If you do have Mando's N1 Starfighter, it's basically the same thing. Now, unlike Mando's Starfighter, which has a fixed area for little Grogu up here, there is a hatch underneath which can pop open, and you can place R2-D2 in there. However, the way it's sculpted, he can only be looking from left to right. You can't have him looking straight forward or even backwards. So if you try to put him in frontwards, it's not going to fit. He just gets stuck there. And you can see how much better he fits in going off to the side, which doesn't necessarily bother me because, you know, I'd rather like have the droid to be able to take in and out rather than him being fixed in there and being able to like say swivel his head. What I would like to see them do is maybe have a battle pack where there's like a few Vulture droids and then maybe like a few Naboo Starfighters or something like that. That way we can get a few more of these because I'd like to have a decent sized fleet of Naboo Starfighters, but not all Anakin and R2s, maybe just some other astromechs and other pilots. Now when it comes to the cockpit itself, the hatch opens up this way rather than sliding forward and backward like we see within the film. The inside has some great details. You can see it is all sculpted in there, even the seat and like the little seat belts. So pretty self-explanatory, popping our figures in there. He fits in there nice and snug, and you can see him popping through that little glass. This is in fact our second young Anakin. The first one was released within that Boot Eve pack, which you can see here on the right hand side. Vast differences between the two, especially with the head sculpts and the overall hue to his clothing. Of course, there are major differences between both N1 Starfighters. Mando's is more souped up, skeleton-ish, and just overall rugged compared to our original N1 Starfighter. And now the submarine is another beautiful display piece. Just as it sits, looks great. You can see we have an illustration of the sub right here in the front and another one on the side. I like the placement of the stickers. Nothing seems overly crowded. It does come with 2 figures, Jar Jar Binks and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I do like that figure selection because that does leave room for Qui-Gon Jinn, Padme, and maybe a few other characters with the Royal Naboo starship. Here is the barcode and the Target DPCI to help you track this down in store. This is also available for in-store pickup and shipping as well. I'm actually pretty excited about this ship. I feel like the older the Phantom Menace gets, the more I appreciate things that maybe I didn't quite look at as much, you know, when I first saw the film, or maybe when it was around for like the first 10 years. But this is a great looking ship. One of the best parts about this is that it comes with a stand. And it's not only just a stand, but it pretty much matches the hue of the entire ship. Say what you will about the Gungans, but this is a great design, very elegant for a submarine. And you know, the more I look at this, I think, man, Zoras from like The Legend of Zelda would probably drive something like this. For this being a $20 ship, I would say it's definitely worth it. It's got a considerable amount of length, so from front to back, we're looking at about 14 inches. And I'd say the overall width brings us to about 7 inches. Since this is one of the very few ships that has a stand, let's talk about that first. It is a ball joint at the stand itself. You just pop this on here, and then you can maneuver it all different directions. You can even turn it from side to side if you wanted to. I do love that they included a stand with this. I mean, it would be not as aesthetically appealing without the stand. I mean, you can just have it sit on your shelving, but it makes a big difference, and hopefully they implement more of these stands when it's warranted in the future. To remove the stand, all you have to do is pop it off. So we'll take a look at the bottom. You can see there is no exposed screws, which looks great. So I would imagine that these like plastic caps are covering the screws, and it overall looks great. You can see there's some small texture throughout. More of that like elegant Gungan look to it. There's an exposed gear here. Now, this is one of the features to this sub. All you have to do is like spin it, and that will allow this like tail area, basically the propeller of the submarine, to move. Here's a better look at that from the side and the top. That's such a cool feature that they were able to do this. So you can spin it both ways, doesn't matter which way you go. Look, there's even like scale textures to this entire propeller. I even really love this like translucent glass looking area here. This is freaking cool. The top of this sub looks great. I love all this like little inlay throughout. That's what gives me the appearance that it would be a vehicle utilized by Zoras. So there's 3 little hatches, which gives us seating for 2, 4, 6, and 7 different characters, which is awesome. So maybe if we get some blind box Gungans down the line, we can fill this sucker up with just a small army of Gungans. We have that empty space right here. This is where Qui-Gon would be sitting. I would imagine, again, that they would probably include him in that Royal Naboo starship. Other than that, he really doesn't have his own designated ship. Inside each little seating area is some sculpting. There's some clips to hold down each little character. And it's funny, now that I'm looking at this and holding it, I didn't even realize that there was this much extra seating in one of these little subs. I'm gonna have to go back to that scene and take a closer look. Now, the main cockpit has most of the room since it does seat 3 individuals. And why is that Jar Jar that shredded? I mean, he's freaking jacked. How many grams of protein do those little frogs have? Look at those biceps, dude. Once you take the figures out, you can see there's some sculpted seat backs to the chairs, and to the front, there's like some mechanisms that look like they can control the sub. Each little window is on a hinge, and they will close and click into place, just like so. And then to the nose of the sub, we have this like little extension here, and this doesn't really do anything. It is just another design to the ship. Before we wrap up, here's a closer look at our figures. They made Jar Jar slightly taller than Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he is 6 feet 5 inches, so that looks pretty good. But I still can't get over how jacked they made him. I mean, jeez. Alright friends, that's going to wrap up this review and unboxing of 2 25th anniversary Phantom Menace vehicles from Micro Galaxy Squadron. Both are ideal to add to your collection, especially if you are a prequels fan like me. But I gotta say, I have a newfound love for the Bongo Submarine. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't know if I would have really bought that as a toy. But since the film has really appreciated and it's really grown on me, it's definitely a must-have in my collection, and I might even buy a second one to keep sealed. I just really love this overall sculpt and appearance to this. The features make it amazing. Icing on the cake is definitely the stand. Oh, and you really can't beat that $19.99 price either. Both of these are Target exclusives, and the Naboo Starfighter is retailing at $14.99. To my international fans, I don't quite know exactly where you can get these just yet. But again, if anybody knows, sound off down below and let's help each other out. But that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you are wanting to snag these because I think they're going to be a fine addition to your collection. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date when new things drop. I like these Phantom Menace ships. I also post toy photography and toy videos. If you did enjoy this unboxing review and chat about these vehicles, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Until next time, I will see y'all in the next video.